Minna-san, konnichiwa. Hisashiburi desu ne. I took a pretty long break from studying again. Well, I was still studying, but less intensely than I wanted. But I'm back, and today I'd like to share some tips for lazy/busy days when it feels like you don't have time or strength to learn anything. On both lazy and busy days, motivation can be hard to come by, but it's okay. Like, we've all been there, and there are still ways to make progress without burning yourself out. I always say that you don't need to push yourself to study when you don't feel like it. Like, studying should be fun and enjoyable, and if you push yourself too hard, you will start to associate negative emotions with the learning process, and we really don't want that. So whenever I don't feel like it, or I'm too tired or too busy or whatever, I just turn on some Japanese music. And first of all, it immediately puts me in a better mood, and just hearing their voices, the words I want to know, the phrases, like the way they speak, well, sing, it like reminds me why I study in the first place. And sometimes it motivates me enough to go and grab a book and start studying. Sometimes I take the lyrics and I translate it, and sometimes just listening is enough. I've also been watching a lot of Japanese doramas. I just love hearing and seeing actual people speak, unlike anime. Not that I've stopped watching it, I just currently prefer doramas a bit more.
正直音楽のことは分かんないけどすごいな。
だから覚えてないんで。
And also I've been slowly migrating to the Japanese side of YouTube. With my current level, it's a little bit hard to watch just about any video that I want, but I found a cool tool that makes it much easier. And it's called Hayai Learn. Hayai is fast in Japanese, just flexing my knowledge. And they're also a sponsor of today's video, and I couldn't be happier working with them. Hayai Learn is a language learning platform that allows you to watch YouTube videos in a very effective way. All the videos are separated into different categories, and what's even better, you can see the difficulty of each video, so you know for sure that it's right for you, for your level. And there are over 500 different videos, but if you still can't find something you like, you can also just import a video that you want to the website. But I, for example, found a very cool channel with the videos just perfect for my level, and it's called Yu no Nihongo Podcast. And when I watch it on Hayai Learn, I can see all of the words below, and if I hover over the word, it pauses the video and shows me the meaning and the level of the word, which is really handy, by the way, because I don't want to focus on the words that are too difficult for me right now. And I can also click learn to add the word to my vocabulary folder. Also, it shows you explanations on the side, because sometimes you can't get the true meaning of the word just by translating it separately from the context, so it's very useful. And after I'm done with the video, I can go to my words and see them all, or go to quiz and learn the word. And it's all in one place. Like, before that, I was using my notebook and like 3 different websites to translate and practice the words, and this is just so much more convenient. There's also a JLPT core button, which I'm so happy about, because if you've seen my older videos, I actually printed out all of the N5 Japanese words, and this video is the only reason I actually finally picked it up in a very long time. I basically just forgot about it like a couple of months later after I printed it, but on the website I can add them to my vocabulary and actually learn them. There are also other features you can read about in their guide and blog, so if you want to check it out for yourself, you can use my link in the description. And again, big thank you to Hayai Learn for collaborating with me. When I'm on a productive day, I don't actually feel like using any apps, because it feels like I'm not actually learning. Like, I want to study hard, I want to do exercises, read rules, sweat, work very hard. So apps for me are perfect for those lazy/busy days. There are so many different apps on the App Store you can choose depending on whatever you want to learn, like kanji, hiragana and katakana, grammar, words and stuff like that. So just check them out, see which one catches your eye. Reading is like the best for studying both actively and passively. When I'm on a lazy day, I will just read small text without really trying to understand it too much, translate the words, like figure out the grammar or anything like that. I will just read it out loud to practice.
金曜日に図書館で一緒に勉強しませんか？すみません。金曜日は友達の誕生日パーティーに行きます。
I primarily use Yomu GP, which is just perfect for this because there are so many texts and they're separated onto different levels. So literally I just open a text and read it out loud. And it makes me feel pretty cool. Even though I'm stuttering a lot, like, it's still awesome that I can read a whole text fully in Japanese. And also I've noticed recently that I've been skipping furigana because reading some of the kanjis that I already know is easier. I've also subscribed subscribe to a ton of Japanese actors, actresses, singers, and from time to time I try to read their posts. They're very difficult, but whenever I can actually read something, even if it's just one word out of like 100, it's still nice. Like I see my goal that maybe in a half a year I will be able to read this whole post and understand it. And also I read the comments sometimes, and it's super cool because some of the words that I've already know, like for example, arigatou gozaimasu. It used to be pretty hard for me to catch it right away. Like whenever you know the language, you can just see the word without even reading it, if that makes sense. And this starts to happen with Japanese, with some of the words. The ones that I used to like read letter by letter and then like in the middle realize that this is just like onegai shimasu or something like this. So it's pretty cool too. Sometimes I just randomly start saying everything that I can in Japanese to just check how much I can actually say. I do try to make it like a little bit of a coherent story, but it doesn't have to be. I can just say whatever is on my mind.
面白いものを作りました。で、レストランに行きました。一緒にレストランに行きました。寿司を食べました。美味しかったです。でもちょっと高いです。いや、ちょっと高いでした。高かった。
Or I can just narrate everything that I do. So for example, if I've been working for a long time and I'm like, oh, I'm hungry, I'm gonna say it out loud. お腹が空いた。何を食べますか? It doesn't really matter if it's grammatically correct or not, if you know all the words that you want to say. So for example, if I don't know the word, I will just say it in English, but in katakana. It's just an easy way to build up your confidence a little bit, practice your speaking and the way you pronounce words and stuff like that. But it also shows me my weak spots, like things that I need to practice whenever I feel productive again. I tried joining Hello Talk about a year ago, I guess, or something, and it went really bad. First of all, my level was not high enough to have any conversation with an actual Japanese person, and it took me like hours to figure out what they said and then type in my response. It was just exhausting. I tried so hard, but I was actually like scared opening the app and seeing all the responses that I got from other people and thinking that I have to like spend 3 hours now to try to answer, especially since I don't really know how to answer, so all that I do is just translating things in Google Translate and typing them up to them or just copying. So for now I just decided to stick to other Japanese learners instead. This way I know we won't be using anything too difficult for us. Like I know you need to challenge yourself, right? But at the same time, if it feels like a chore, maybe try something else. By the way, maybe you can share your current level in the comments below and find yourself a pen pal. Or maybe you can create a Discord for all of us to talk in Japanese a little bit, because I joined 2 Discords where people were supposed to talk in Japanese, but nobody's actually writing anything there. So yeah, anyway, just let me know if anyone's gonna be interested in any of these. I like to do a lot of DIY things. I do a lot of things from air dry clay. I'm trying pottery right now. I like to draw and stuff like this, and I decided to add Japanese to all of these things. Like for example, I make mugs and bowls from clay and I add Japanese words to them. I also learned a little bit of vocabulary connected to clay and stuff like that, because whenever I'm asked like what do I do, I used to not know how to answer, but now I know. I also decided recently to draw little illustrations with the words that I find hard to remember. So for example, words about my daily routine. For some reason I just couldn't remember them, so I just drew little illustrations and added the word above it, and it's much easier to remember it this way because it adds a layer of context to it, and also you spend a lot more time like looking at this word and connecting it to a story you're drawing or something like this. So instead of just writing the word over and over again, I think it's much more fun this way. And you don't even have to be good at drawing or anything. You can just take a piece of paper and a pen and draw whatever. And even the weirder they are, sometimes it's even easier to remember them. I also try to add as many Japanese words as possible to my to-do lists and stuff like that. It's not actually a hobby, but a thing that I actually do every day, and it's a great practice as well. So basically, whatever you like doing, see if you can incorporate Japanese into it. So as you can see, even though sometimes it feels like you don't have time or strength to learn anything, you can still study without putting too much effort or time into it. Whatever you do, just don't stop completely interacting with the language you learn. It's a trap I've fallen into too many times, so just try doing something every single day. It doesn't matter if it's a 3-hour study session or you will just listen to a couple of songs or watch a couple of videos. And I think that's all for today. 見てくれてありがとうございました。頑張ってください。